In today's video, what I want to do here is recreate a recent setup in the daily crude oil. Basically, I'm going to show you where we came up with resistance, where we did put in the high today. So let's recreate it, and I'm going to do this by running price projections, price retracements, and price extensions. I'm going to start with projections. I do like to compare, the prior swings in the same direction, because a lot of times you'll see that they tend to be similar to each other. So for example, I'm going to take this prior low to high over here on the left, low to high, project it from this low. Okay, we went through this, so this is not helpful. We're going to get rid of it because we already went through it. But we have some other projections to run. So here's one low to this high, projected from the low. That comes in above the market. But within that larger swing, there were two other swings. So this low to this high, projected from this low, there's where one of them is. And we can also run this low to this high, projected from this low. Okay, but that's not going to work because we went through it, so it no longer is valid. But we do have at least the one symmetry projection. Okay, what else should we look for? Well, we can also run this projection too. This low to high, projected from the low. Okay, and that gives us some more resistance above the market. But what else are we going to do? Let's look at the retracements next. So I'm going to start with, running the major high to low, but then we'll also be able to run retracements of the lower highs to that low, that same low, and that will also give us some other price relationships. So let's look at those next. So we're going to take, this high to this low. Okay, now there's nothing that really overlaps there. We have some resistance above the market. Then we can take this lower high to the low. And there you see we have a 50% that overlaps, and we have an other price relationship that we went through, so we're just going to get rid of it. I also like to kind of clean up the chart above because we're not going to need anything that's not that close. All right. Beyond that, though, let's look at some of these other retracements. So here you have one high to low. Okay, let's get rid of this here. Try the lower high to the low again. Now there's a 618 retracement in there. Okay. And we can also run a high to low here, but it's going to come in above the market. But there's one other extension that I need to run for you. Let's get rid of this above the market, clean up the chart a little bit. And it's going to come from the more recent high to low. So let's take this high to this low. And you can see where that 1272 extension is. So this is pretty much the setup zone. We had resistance between the 64.16 to 64.71 area. If you wanted to tighten that up and make it a smaller zone, then it would be 64.16 to 64.47. It included a 50% retracement, a 1272 extension of the prior high to low, and that 100% projection up there. Now so far, let's see, the high has been made. 64.19, which is directly within that window, and the market has come down to what so far? So that's $2.56, and that's not bad at all, if you're looking at trades, especially short-term trades. So when we have resistance like that, we want to go down to the lower time frame chart and look for a sell trigger against it. Now in this example, this is using the 834 EMA combo. Now the trigger wouldn't have occurred until you had the 8 cross below the 34, and also in that process we've taken out a prior swing low. So you would have seen a short signal over here. Your maximum risk to start would have been above this prior high, and of course we did see a healthy decline. But one of the other things that you can look at though is use a different moving average combo. So I'm going to do chart load template. I'm going to change this to a 513. So for faster entries, you can look at a 513, and then you'll see that here it looks like you would have gotten a quicker sell trigger. Okay, when we both had, again, taken out a prior swing low, and had the moving average crossover. Bottom line, we had a nice setup in crude. It did hit the zone, it held the zone, and it did trigger a short against the zone. And that's basically what we're trying to do every single day. And you can use this work for day trades, or you can use them for swing trades. If you like what you're seeing here, then please like and subscribe to the channel.